For my MD5351 assessment, I created 3 tracks as a single. The theme for this single is lucid dream, therefore I tried my best to bring this dreamy and hypnotic atmosphere. I worked with them in Ableton and uploaded them to SoundCloud, keeping in mind the appropriate loudness range on this platform. Not having the best tools at hand, such as a good laptop or speakers, I tried my best to bring out the best sound quality as I could. I also made a cover for them myself. All my 3 tracks I started with creating those arpeggiator-like sounds, which I did with a careful use of a delay, especially a filter delay from Ableton. I wanted them to be in the background of my tracks, so with autofilter I added a low-pass filter on them to create this effect, a bit like you're hearing them in the room next to yours. The reason why I chose filter delay instead of arpeggiator is because of control. With arpeggiator, all the notes have the same velocity, which I wanted to avoid, and with filter delays drying up, I could manipulate this velocity. Almost all of the hi-hats were created with Ableton's operator. Other than that, I used and edited some samples to my liking. Personally, I think operator is the best audio instrument for creating hi-hats or white noise based in sounds, for its simple yet high quality interface. In the OBE track, I added vocals from this video. I added a bandpass filter to create the next room effect, almost the same as with the arpeggiator-like sounds, and convolution reverb. As for the reverb, I tried to stick to just one reverb in each track of mine for a clean mix, so I chose the Ableton's convolution reverb with an Arundel Nave preset. In OBE track I added a Schwarzenegger 2 device to the main sound. It shifts MIDI notes to a certain musical scale, which you can choose as a preset. This is what the notes sounded like without it. And this is how this effect changed it. With Schwarzenegger, I could also add random notes in a chosen scale, and I think this option gave character to my track. In the same track and same sound later when the track progresses, I slowly added a pitch hack device that reverses the audio, randomizes the transposition interval, and pitches the oncoming signal in real time. I controlled the amount of it with the dry wet knob and created this hypnotic sound with other knobs. I used the same kick in every track because it is a crucial element and I wanted my tracks to be related not only with the filter delay sounds. I didn't edit it in the reality check track, but in Lucid Dream and OBE tracks I added a low pass filter and cut out some mid frequencies for more of a bassy in the background effect. For various sounds I use Serum plugin, most of the time tweaking an existing preset to my liking. I use Serum alone because of its professional and high quality interface. Serum also has some great sound effects and I used them as well. Other than Serum, I used Ableton's wavetable, mostly to create those filter delay sounds. In Lucid Dream track, I duplicated the main sound and used Oracle plugin's LFO in a square shape for that gated effect on the reverb. The same goes for the reality check track. Also in Lucid Dream track, I used the Sennheiser Ambio Orbit for the white noise sound generated by operator to pan them binarily. I used multi-band compressor as an EQ on different tracks. and I used my hearing to determine what frequencies to tweak using multiband compression. I also used EQ8 to cut out all the unnecessary frequencies and put a high-pass filter on every track that didn't need those low frequencies, ranged around 80 Hz, for a clean mix. The last step of my production was, of course, mastering. As a starting point, I opened up the Ozone 9 plugin on my master and used the Master Assistant feature. It gave me ideas on how I could master my track. After applying them, I made sure to set the target loudness to -12 LUFS, since I will upload them to SoundCloud, where the optimal loudness should be between -8 to -13 LUFS. I also applied the limiter and set the peak to -1 dB. The information about the loudness and peak on SoundCloud I found on masteringthemix.com. When I was done with Ozone, I've put another plugin on my master called Tonal Balance Control. It showed the tonal balance of my track and allowed me to compare it to the tonal balance of an average EDM track, since EDM is similar to what I've created. All of the mastering procedures I've applied to all of my tracks, tweaking just really small bits individually, since my tracks are similar in structure but not the same. After that, I've put Yulin loudness meter on my master and checked if the loudness is appropriate. And then it was done and I could upload my track to SoundCloud.